Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today, Doom 3. Released in 2004, this is a sci-fi first-person horror shooter. Though horror is a little bit of a stretch, jump scare simulator would probably be more accurate. It was created by ID Software, same company that brought us all the other Dooms, along with the Quake series, Hexen, and Wolfenstein. The Doom series wasn't known for its story-driven gameplay, but here in Doom 3 they slowed things down and gave it a shot. It didn't work out very well. Basically, you're some random Marine that was sent to Mars, and while you're there, all hell breaks loose. Literally. They found some demonic artifacts, one man ended up being connected to them, hell took over, and the whole base was flooded with demons. And for whatever reason, you're the only one that can aim a gun, so it's up to you to try and save everyone.
This is the audio log of Frank Delahue, engineering manager assigned to power production data.
You'll get exposition on PDFs found around the base, and they contain audio logs and emails. Yet the audio is just so badly tuned that you can hardly hear the audio logs depending on where you stand, and none of it really expands the story. Now, a game doesn't have to have a good story to be good, but when you depart from the fast-paced, high-intensity gameplay to this slower, more methodical, story-fed gameplay, you should make sure you got a good story. Now, when you hear Doom, you probably think of something like this. Or perhaps this. This is the fast-paced, high-intensity action I was talking about. You can also hear that killer soundtrack. So when you load into Doom 3, you hit that main menu and you hear this. You assume you have a game just like the previous two, yet you quickly find out that that is not the case. The game is much slower, and they lean heavily into the horror factor, but they only had one trick up their sleeves: jump scares. You'd clear a room, move forward, encounter enemies, and new ones would just magically appear behind you. At first, these jump scares are great. It fits well with the atmosphere and with the setting, but things just never evolve. It's always different enemies in different locations popping out from somewhere. Now, in my opinion, jump scares are the lowest form of horror, much like slapstick or maybe knock-knock jokes are the lowest form of comedy. They're valid tools that can be used, but when they are the only ones you used, the desired effect is completely negated. Now, there were some moments I wish they would have used more of. There was a moment we had a disembodied voice with some bloody footprints talking about a child. Here, let me play you the clip. This moment was brilliant. It fits in well with the slower game pace that they're trying to set, and when it ended, not only was I a little spooked, I wanted to know more. What baby? Why? How are they involved? Who are you? Why am I being spoken to? Sadly, you come to find out that this has nothing to do with any portion of the game whatsoever. This came out in the same year as Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Killzone, World of Warcraft, and Star Wars Battlefront. So just comparing these other 3D games to Doom 3, the graphics are sitting just fine. I do this comparison because 3D graphics are a little tough to judge when you're looking this far back in time. 3D hasn't been an art form that seems to hold up nicely over time. So if you're comparing anything modern to anything from then, it looks like something that kids in animation school would do rather than state-of-the-art graphics at the time. You see the same thing with older Pixar movies. Now, if it bothers you, there's likely some mods that you can get that'll enhance this. Personally, I didn't mind. What I did mind, though, was the fact that there are only 4 people running this entire base, and it's very noticeable. You'd go from room to room chatting with each of these NPCs, getting the storyline and everything like that, but then every third NPC you'd be like, wait, didn't I just see you back there? No, you have a different name, so you're a different character, yet you have almost an identical character model here. Needless to say, there was a lot of deja vu moments, and I had to double check names to see if this was someone new or someone I've already spoken with. Now, the enemies too were all basically the same model, but that actually didn't matter as much. You're not going up to them and talking to them. I've already spoken of the soundtracks in the gameplay section, given it was just so pivotal to the gameplay itself. So beyond the intro music and the main menu screen, everything else you find is just environmental or silence. I think that in maybe one of the boss fights there may have been some music, but it was nothing memorable compared to the previous games. The environmental sounds were good, and they helped set the mood, but it just wasn't what you were expecting coming from the previous games. So, is it worth your time? It's a no from me. And if you enjoyed the Doom 1 and Doom 2 games, and looked forward for that style of game here in Doom 3, you won't find it. If you're hoping for a good, scary, horror, first-person shooter game, you'll sort of find it here, but there are much better games in that genre, even around this time period. My name's been Stryftek, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, click that like and subscribe button. This will help others find these videos in the future. And I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?